I knew something was wrong the moment I opened the door. He stood there the way he always did. Upright posture, careful smile, hands folded politely in front of him. The neighbor everyone trusted. The man who watered my plants when I traveled. Who waved every morning like routine was a religion. But today his eyes burned. Not anger, not fear, possession. The hallway light caught the side of his face, sharpening lines I had never noticed before. His jaw was tight, as if he'd rehearsed this moment and still hated how it felt in his mouth. "Can I come in?" he asked. Always polite, even now. I didn't answer right away. My mind was busy cataloging the details, the way his gaze flicked past me into my apartment, the slight tremor in his breath, the faint smell of my wife's perfume clinging to his jacket. That detail landed quietly and broke something permanent inside me. I stepped aside. He walked in like he belonged there. He didn't sit, just stood near the window, staring out as if the city had answers he didn't. I watched him from the kitchen doorway, my pulse steady, my thoughts razor sharp. Say it, I thought. Whatever lie you've rehearsed, say it. Instead, he spoke my name, softly. I didn't plan for this to happen. Of course you didn't. I leaned against the counter, arms crossed. I felt detached, like I was watching a scene from behind glass. What exactly didn't you plan? I asked. He turned then, and something cracked. The polite mask slipped just enough. Your wife, he said. She deserves honesty. There it was. The room felt smaller, thicker. Every memory rearranged itself at once. Late nights, sudden errands, her phone always face down, his friendly waves that lingered too long, the way he knew things about my schedule he shouldn't have. I nodded slowly. How long? I asked. His silence answered before his words did. 8 months. 8 months of shared walls, shared smiles, shared secrets. I thanked him. That confused him more than shouting ever could. That night, I didn't confront her. I kissed her goodnight, listened to her breathing, counted the spaces where truth used to live. In the days that followed, I became careful. I copied phone records, tracked timestamps, watched reflections instead of faces. I learned the language of betrayal quickly. It speaks in patterns, predictable ones. Every Thursday, every time I worked late, every moment I trusted. I found messages deleted but not erased, a second email, a key hidden behind the breaker panel in our building's hallway. His apartment. I stayed calm, externally unchanged, the husband who smiled, who cooked dinner, who asked about her day. Inside, I mapped the collapse with precision. This wasn't about rage, it was about control. The truth arrived in a thin envelope 2 weeks later. DNA results. Not about infidelity, about lineage. Our son wasn't mine. The paper felt heavier than it should have, as if it carried years instead of ink. I waited until dinner, placed the envelope between us on the table. "Open it," I said. She laughed nervously at first, then read, then folded in on herself like a structure finally stripped of support. She cried. I didn't move. She begged. I listened. When she finished, I asked one question. Did he know? Her silence was louder than any confession. I didn't confront him with fists or threats. I invited him over. Coffee. Neutral ground. I slid the envelope across the table. His face emptied. I already know you came to my door, I said calmly. You wanted absolution or permission. He stammered, reached for words that didn't exist anymore. I wanted you to hear it from me, he said. No, I corrected. You wanted to be seen. I stood. Enjoy the walls, I said. They remember everything. The next morning, I moved out, left the apartment, left the marriage, left the illusion intact, but hollow. They can have each other. I took something better. clarity. When I pass his door now, I don't look. I don't need to. I already know what's waiting behind it.